Jarritos, a Mexican soda brand found in bodegas across America, wasn't ready for this historic collaboration. Severino Alvarez pitched them a vision that connected street culture, skaters, and wealthy customers who all enjoyed the same iconic bottle. But the wild part is, he managed to secure one of the rarest deals in footwear history, Nike's first ever official beverage collaboration, breaking barriers that even major brands couldn't accomplish. His journey from bodega drinks to Nike collaborations shows what's possible when you see cultural connections others miss. What everyday product could you transform into the next cultural phenomenon? All right, bro, so you have a long list of extraordinary talents, and some of them I was unexpected when I saw you send them to me in an email, which was BMW racetrack license, PGA Tour caddy, and private pilot. Like, what's going on? Like, you got to explain a little bit on each one. What does it actually mean to be a BMW racetrack? Like, what does that actually even mean? And then why the heck are you flying your own planes?
Yeah. So BMW's headquarters in North America is here in Greenville, South Carolina.
Oh, is
And
it? Okay.
yes, BMW and Michelin are here. So
Okay.
even though it's a smaller town, it's pretty big car community. You'll see a
Okay.
lot of cars here from, there's a Pagani in town.
Oh gosh. Okay.
There's a Bugatti here.
Okay.
Uh, and then just a plethora of Ferraris, McLarens, all the way down.
Just
Um,
chill. Just chill stuff. Just McLaren's
yeah,
just driving down the road. Just chill.
yeah, it's funny, because you're gonna see a 70-year-old man at a stoplight, and you're gonna be like, "What is that guy driving that one of five car in the whole
One
world
of
here?"
five cars.
Yeah, it's here. But being that BMW
Mm-hmm.
headquarters is here, they have a performance center, so
Oh, okay.
it's typically wrapped around if you buy a performance car, a competition, an M series.
Okay.
You pick it up from the performance center, and before you take it home, they take you out in your car or a replica of your car so you don't dog your car.
Yeah.
And you just get to dog it. You get to go on the track, you get to
Whoa,
drift
that
it.
is a wild experience.
It's a really cool experience. And just over the years and being that I grew up here, I have a lot of friends that work there,
Okay.
both in design and kind of corporately with marketing and customer experience.
Yeah.
So when the BMW PGA Tour on the Nationwide Tour, well, Nationwide is web.com now,
Okay.
which is basically the minor leagues of the PGA. When they come around, they give all the pros the chance to go out on the track and drive
Uh-huh.
all the latest M3s, M4s,
Oh
M5s,
gosh.
etc. So
Okay.
it's pretty fun. And over the years, I always went when the tour was in town, but my
Okay.
buddy kind of invited me periodically year to year back.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first couple years, I guess, you're with a professional driver, so you really can't prove yourself that much. It's like going on the field and hitting BP with Shohei
Yeah.
Ohtani. If you hit a few line drives, they're going to be like, okay, this guy he's actually played a little ball. Well,
Yeah.
kind of the same similar thing. Some of the professional instructors could tell
Mm-hmm.
that I had a little bit of experience.
They're like,
So
this guy can drive.
yeah, they're like, this guy is not going to wreck our car. So they let me open it up a little bit, and I got to show off some of my skills. And it kind of just turned into a thing where, like, if you get enough credit through them, you can
Mm-hmm.
get, and again, it's not like you have a real racing license where I could step
Yeah.
into a NASCAR. But nowadays, if you have
Yeah.
enough money, you can start your own racing team without a license.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, that's like kind of my little fun claim to fame is like
Yeah.
they gave me a couple years of I was credible enough behind the wheel to say that I had a performance license, meaning that I could drive in enclosed
But it's like, that feels
off-road.
so, from what I know about you, that feels like something that like so lines up and syncs with you, where it's like the customer experience of buying that BMW, you're in that like deep way of seeing it where they give people those fun rad rides. So also okay, we'll spend a little bit of time here really quickly, because it's one of the things I would never ever do, which is be a pilot or get in private planes like to the size that you fly, like those
Yeah.
little ones. That stuff is terrifying to me. But you're also a private pilot. Like you're just like, how many hours are you actually having to do that as well? On top of all the brand partnership stuff you're doing, on top of all the stuff you're doing in the fashion industry and arts industry, like you're also just flying planes.
Yeah. I love it. It's kind of like it's a decompressing hobby, you know.
Okay.
I love putting, when the risk, I don't like betting on anything more than myself.
Okay.
So when you're in a plane by yourself and
Yeah,
you have to live and die by the decisions you make, it's
bro.
pretty exhilarating. And, I would be lying if I said that even still, sometimes I don't get a little bit sketched out up in the air.
Dude, I get sketched out on commercial airlines.
I mean, I probably get more sketched out on commercials being that I'm not in control than I do in the cockpit. But
Yeah.
it's great, man.
Okay.
It's opened up so many doors.
Do you
It
get to fly
provides
other
such a,
places? Like, do
oh,
you get to
dude.
do that? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, even I just flew back in last night from Omaha, and I flew my
I love
private
it.
plane into Omaha during the College World Series to go to the College World Series. So it's
Oh,
funny. I'm
wow.
like flying this little dinker, and
Yeah.
there's Gulf Streams and
Yeah.
Global Expresses landing around me, and here's this little Cessna 150 pulling up, and they're like, "Who is this guy?" But it's funny. I'm like coming back from the World Series with merch and
Yeah.
memorabilia, like, stuffing it in the plane. They're like, "What is this guy doing?" But yeah, that was the most recent
I love
flight.
it. Are you still pretty connected to baseball? With your dad played Major League Baseball
Yeah, yeah.
for, was it the Indians or the Braves?
Atlanta Braves and San
Okay.
Francisco Giants.
Okay. Are you still pretty connected to baseball because of that or no?
Yeah, my dad's getting older now. He's about to be
Okay.
70. So as far as his generation of ball players, I connect more with those guys through him and on the
Okay.
golf course.
Oh, okay.
But there are several friends of mine who still either currently play or have taken coaching positions in the major
Oh,
leagues.
okay. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I actually just recently got to go to the Cardinals Dodgers series in St. Louis and watch the
Wow.
Shohei and those guys hit
Yeah.
BP and stuff. It was phenomenal.
That's
Shout out
awesome.
to John Jay, who is now coaching with the St. Louis Cardinals. But
Yeah.
yeah, I stay pretty connected.
Okay.
Getting out of the game, I was a little bit jaded
Okay.
towards the sport, not
Yeah.
making it all the way to the
Yeah.
league like I had
Uh-huh.
wanted to. But
Mm-hmm.
that I have an 8 and a 7-year-old son, it's been
Yeah.
really fun to kind of become more involved in it again. So yeah, I
Okay.
consider football pretty dear
Okay.
to home. So
So okay, we're gonna take a little bit of a pivot, and we'll get to the stuff that's all behind you, because if somebody is just listening to this podcast and you're not actually watching the YouTube show, you're not gonna see the level of specialty items from luxury brands to everyday brands who've done partnerships with luxury brands that Sev has behind him. Like some of the most kind of museum-esque pieces are in that little like room that you're in right now. So people can't see that. But what we'll dive into that'll open that world is in 2023, a project you were working on was awarded Sneaker of the Year. And you helped create a collaboration with the Nike Dunk for Doritos, right?
yes.
And I want to kind of like, what can you tell us about that process? How did you come on as creative director for that? Or what was that journey like to even get that collaboration in place, let alone to see it win Sneaker of the Year and be a really sought after collaboration that people still talk about to today? So how did that start? And then what was that process like to get that collaboration?
Yeah, I started working with Doritos in 2018.
Okay.
When I started, it was more of like the brand. So I'm friends with the owner and
Okay.
his family. He basically gave me a shot. It was
That's cool.
through a mutual friend of his and mine that I was working for their family, doing a lot of similar things, some advisement, some art
Okay.
deals. I was helping
Okay.
mentor their oldest son. And after I met Mr. Fernandez, I asked him for a shot. I was basically like, "Can I please fly back to Texas, where the headquarters is in America,
Oh, okay.
and can I get a shot to show you what I'm capable of and
So
building
you just
out?"
presented, you're like, can I get a shot? Like,
Yeah,
let
that's
me
all
get
it
in the
was at
game.
first.
Oh,
And
wow, dude. I love that so much.
yeah, and they were basically like, "All right, you got 6 months, guy. Like, show us what you can do." So, the first thing that I did was actually bring the brand down to Art Basel
Okay.
in
Yeah.
Miami, and it was
Tell
incredible.
people who don't have an awareness of Art Basel, like what that is in a nutshell. So they have a context for why that was important for you to bring that brand there.
Yeah, so Art Basel, I consider it the world's biggest and best art fair. You know, that's subjective, I think, nowadays.
I
But
get it. Yeah.
in my opinion, it's the most lucrative and biggest money driven fair worldwide. They have it. It's Basel because of Basel, Switzerland. That's where
Okay.
the inception of Basel was created, and then it
Okay.
sprung out to Art Basel Miami in
Oh,
2000,
wow.
I
I
believe
didn't
was
know
the
that.
first year, and then in
Okay.
Hong Kong. So there's three major art fairs, all called
Okay.
Art Basel. It's Basel, Switzerland, Basel,
Hmm.
Hong Kong, Basel, Miami,
Okay.
and even though it's just art, over the last 15 to 20 years, it's become very um experience driven, where
Okay. Yeah.
brands that are not art focused are still doing dinner parties, private events, bringing their
Okay.
collectors and their clients down to experience art, luxury, fine
Okay.
dining, travel,
Hmm.
all those things. And I just thought, Jarritos has always played the fly on the wall as a
Yeah.
Mexican soda. It's in all the
Yeah.
bodegas. But even
Yeah.
though it's a bodega drink, you know, upper echelon and
Yeah.
lower class have all drank Jarritos. So
Yeah.
I think that when I brought them down there, the whole idea was, hey, how can we infuse ourselves and
Mm.
just make people smile? We don't really need to be sorry about that. We don't really need
No,
to
you're good.
be um Tiffany and Co. We don't need to be
Hmm.
Louis Vuitton down here, but we do need to make an impression that says, "Hey, we're here to have fun. You guys
Hmm.
know who we are. Let's interact." And that's
Hmm.
kind of what started it out, and it was awesome.
Hmm.
I focused really on street culture,
Okay.
um, skating, lifestyle,
Yeah.
fashion,
So what did you
streetwear.
actually do? What was the end result for that first experience with I love how you're like the way that you're bringing that in. What was the first experience you did there? Like what did you do when you went to Art Basel with them?
Yeah, so we did a event at a skate park. So a buddy of mine,
Okay.
Nick Katz, and his friends own Lot 11 skate park in Miami.
Okay.
And we just basically sponsored a skate event. We had a party. We brought out food. We gave a bunch of decks and
Okay, so you
gear
guys had
away.
decks made too. So the brand
Exactly.
activity, like it's all like you're putting all the branding on all the stuff, and knowing your
Exactly.
taste and palette, it's
Yep.
not going to look like anything that's else is out there.
Exactly. And then I think it's just cool sometimes, like I don't know why this just came to my mind, but
Yeah.
Ronnie Feig did a KIF
Yep.
BMW, and
Yes.
he just did a boat too, where they made some boats. And
Yeah.
a lot of people would say, well, what does Ronnie have? What does he have any business doing this? And I
Hmm.
say, well, maybe 20 years ago he would have had no business doing this, but I like to think
Mm.
that Ronnie is a savant. He's a
Hmm.
connoisseur of
Yep.
all things luxury, travel,
Yes.
lifestyle. So that's kind of how I saw Jarritos in the skate culture. We're not a skate
Mm.
company, but
Hmm.
skateboarders are drinking Jarritos and then going back to the skate park and shredding.
Right.
So it just made
Hmm.
sense. It's kind of like, Red Bull. Like Red Bull
Hmm.
isn't a race company, but they're
Hmm.
one of the top teams in F1 racing
Yeah.
because it's an extreme
Yep.
um
Yep.
it's basically the adjective to racing.
Yeah.
It's fast racing.
Yep.
It's
Hmm.
winged racing.
Completely.
So
You're associating these other parts of an industry with your brand to make that
exactly.
connective, and that's the power of what you're doing there. And so did Art Basel. You create this. I love this idea. So you do this skate event. You have Jarritos doing all that stuff, and then you have the decks getting made. What was the next step after that? Before you
Yeah,
got to a
well, the
shoe,
next step
was
was
the shoe the
basically
next thing?
going back to the brand and being like, hey, that little 6 month temporary
Yeah,
opportunity you gave me, I'd like to extend it into a multiple year deal. And
let's go.
it went over
Wow.
well. And
Because
it,
what if they said if they were to push on you, right? Or maybe they did or didn't. I don't know. If I can think about business owners, entrepreneurs, founders going, hey, what's the ROI of doing this Art Basel event? Why are we even doing this? Are we getting sales from this? I can see the sales team or the people looking at the P&L going, this is just a big cost for us. And how did you frame that in a way that made sense to then even extend your deal because you're doing such a great job? Like how did you look at it like that?
I think it was a few things. Prior to coming on, their social platforms were not
Okay.
very well renowned. I mean,
Okay.
again, for an international soda company to only have 30,000 followers
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Instagram and Twitter, I
Didn't
mean,
make
I think
sense.
we had 400 followers on Twitter.
Oh
So it
gosh.
was like, I
Yeah.
mean,
The
there's a
opportunity was ripe.
positive to that because you can show immediate increase in following. There's also a
You're like,
negative,
we're at the
but
bottom. We can get there.
yeah. So I think it was really just showing them when you go back to the KPIs and stuff,
Yeah.
I am not the guy
Mhm.
and I dislike strongly. Not that it's not important, and I know it's
Yeah.
part of every business's protocol to
Yeah.
establish what the return of investment is, but I just have a niche for knowing that when things get
Yep.
viral, it's tough. That's the worst actually thing for a marketing team or a creative
Yeah.
team is to tell the finance director or the
Yeah.
chief revenue officer, hey,
Yeah.
this is going to make you $1 million on top of what we spent. Because I'm
Yeah.
not capable of actually telling
Bro,
the
it's so good to
future.
highlight that. Yeah.
And they want that. A lot of brands, if not most,
Mm.
they want to know 100%
Yeah.
accuracy and without any doubt that this is going to make money. And
Mhm.
I'd be lying to you if I said that I told them that.
Mhm.
I think there's a deep belief in myself that post
Yeah.
Basel the first year,
Yeah.
uh, it was kind of a recipe of they saw their social growth actually going
Mm.
spiraling upwards really fast.
Yeah.
And then I think I unlocked some of their, I wouldn't say closed-mindedness, but
Yeah.
the conservative nature of a family-owned brand,
Yeah.
Jarritos, had
Yeah.
been basically I kind of broke open
Wow.
this idea that, whoa, what is possible for us? What is this Sevi guy doing that
Yes.
actually we haven't tapped into yet? So
Yeah.
I think a lot of it
So
was
good.
I don't believe in luck, but it was great preparation on my part, meeting the
Mhm.
opportunity that they gave me on their part, and that's
Mhm.
kind of what created that kind of
Gotcha.
wave.
So then you so then you went back, got your contract extended with them,
Yeah.
and then where in the journey's next? Like what? And then where was the shoe, and how did the shoe come into this picture?
Yeah, so well, in the first few meetings that I had with them, like I didn't bring a deck. I just literally walked into a boardroom with the board of directors and some of
Uh
the
huh.
C-level guys, and it reminds me back. I don't know if it happens as much, but when record labels like bring in somebody, you have all the
Hmm.
record execs sitting around and the rapper or whoever like rapping out the song and getting into it, and the
Yeah.
executives either like you or they don't.
Yeah.
Kind of how it was for me. I was really
Oh wow.
excited, and I'm like, dude, we just crushed Art Basel, and
Mm.
I'm gonna get you guys a shoe with Nike, and they're like, a shoe with Nike, and obviously I leave that meeting like, oh my gosh, like what did I just tell them I was gonna do? Because at
Oh
that point
gosh.
in time, I'm friends with
Let's
Nike. I
go,
have
dude.
people that believe in me or like some of the ideas that I pitch, but it was
Yeah.
still such a long shot.
Mm.
But it was the, if not, it wasn't the only, but it was one of
Yeah.
a very few, maybe 5 different things that they had latched onto of like, all right, 2 years. You get 2 years basically, give or take, to figure out what this Nike
Wow.
collaboration or big fashion
Yeah.
streetwear collaboration looks like, or we're gonna have to reassess what it looks like
Wow.
working for you.
Hmm.
And then yeah, shortly thereafter, it was just the snowball effect of I created the story that I had in the back of my mind the whole time about what Haritos is
Yeah.
as not only a product but just
Yeah.
the idea of Haritos. Because
What
to
was
me,
that? What was the story you had in the back of your mind that you're like you were moving away from just going, I'm going to highlight this as a product, which is again why this whole show exists, is to get people to think differently and more holistic about a brand. You have your product, but if you don't have this story, if you don't have a brand partnership, if you're not thinking like this, you're missing so much opportunity for your brand to grow. So when you had a story in your mind about them, what was that story that wasn't just highlighting the product?
the story started with again, I always like to use the analogy fly on the wall. Like
Okay.
there's rooms in the world, the White House, Oval Office, or I don't know if you've heard
Mm-hmm.
of the Mercer Hotel in New York
Mm-hmm.
City. Um, if those walls could talk, just imagine
Mm.
the stories they tell. So
Yeah.
I looked at it like, okay, the wealthiest people in the world, New York City, they run
Mm-hmm.
into a bodega every now and then. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe not all the time, but
Yep.
Mark Zuckerberg has run into a Brooklyn bodega on his way to fly out
Absolutely.
to get a snack at
Yeah.
some. And then you have all these skaters in the subculture that
Yep.
bodegas like their homes. Like,
Yeah.
you go in the morning
Literally,
to,
there is that brand called Bodega
yeah,
Market. Like you're like they're literally like this is the streetwear hub.
exactly. And I basically immersed those cultures together. I basically
Love
said
that.
that if you're a billionaire and if you have no money and you're in super debt, you still both drink Doritos. And every
Yeah.
time you can't pop, I mean, these are twist off, they're pop
Yeah.
tops. So
Yeah.
for the old school person, it's the nostalgia. For the young
Mm.
kid, I remember when I drank my first pop off top,
Yeah.
you felt like you're drinking an alcoholic beverage. You're like, bro,
Right.
like, this
Yeah.
ain't
You
twist
feel
off.
this elevated sense of cool.
This ain't
It's
twist off. You know what I'm saying? I gotta
this ain't a
use a
twist off.
bottle opener on this black bottle. And I think that's kind of cool for the skate kids, because
Yeah.
one of the biggest things that I always wrap my head around is, in my life, I've seen a lot of people, skate kids, street kids,
Mm-hmm.
come in, shirt off, sweaty. They got a shoestring for their belt, like the skate
Mm-hmm.
kids. They don't wear
Oh
belts,
yeah.
they wear
I've
shoestrings.
got pictures of my brothers all rocking shoestring belts in
Yes.
Philadelphia skate parks underneath bridges. So like that skate culture was so prominent in my youth with my younger brothers. They had ramps out. We had a half pipe in our garage that my dad built, and then we got rails out on the driveway, and then rails along the street in this like suburb neighborhood. Like we were
Your
like
neighbors
driving
are
by,
probably
going,
like,
"Who
what
are
these
these people?"
guys doing?
Yes, exactly.
Well,
So
yeah, that's
you
it.
said shoestring belt, and I'm like, exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I saw these kids running in, and
Mm-hmm.
they're grabbing a honey bun or a zebra cake or a little Debbie, and they're going back to the
Yes.
back, and they're grabbing Doritos. They're not grabbing
Yeah.
Coke. They're not grabbing. Again, I'm stereotyping here and generalizing, but
I
I
get it.
saw a lot of Doritos being drank. It was a
Yeah.
cheap alternative soda. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's it's more healthy, and it's just,
Mm-hmm.
again, it's that you got to pop the top off, and I
Yeah.
think that just spoke to kids of like, oh wow, this is a relic drink.
Yeah.
It has
Mm-hmm.
history. It tells
There's
us a
something
story.
vintage and old school about this.
Yeah. And when I kind of compiled all that evidence and my life experience around
Mm-hmm.
the product, I saw that it actually had touched a lot of people's lives
Wow.
on a vast range of socioeconomics. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
like champagne.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people talk about champagne, but how many people are going out and really buying 500
Right.
bottles of Dom Perignon? Very
Yeah, of
few.
real champagne, not
Yeah.
stuff that's sparkling wine. Because I like hey, do you
There's a
actually know the difference?
There's a difference.
Yeah,
But
they're different
Doritos
things.
is the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has tried it, no matter the demographic that they're
Yeah.
in. So I latched onto that. I was like,
That's
man,
so good.
it's
That's so
so
good.
cool that this can be such an inclusive thing, but
Mm-hmm.
everybody has their own individual experience with it. Some people
Mm-hmm.
might be the bodega. Some people might
Yep.
be grandma's tacos on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Every taco store and taco truck in
Yeah.
Phoenix, Arizona, and in Los Angeles County have
Mm-hmm.
Doritos stocked to the brim. So
Yep.
like, it just made sense.
It's a cultural icon.
Yeah, it is. It's a cultural significant product and icon. The logo itself, people don't
Yep.
even know sometimes that they know it, but when you see those jugs, they're like, wait, I've seen that before. So
Yeah.
I brought all that together, and when I packaged it, the storyline that I wrote Nike was basically
And
that.
then how did you? Pause. Dude,
Yeah.
this is so good. This is so good. So you have this storyline, which I think is so critical for brands to understand that storyline. Which I'm like, gosh, if there was another episode, we'll have you on again, and we'll just start talking storylines and how to do what you just did. But the other element here is Did you have a contact at Nike? Did you have somebody that you were like, hey, this is my en route to Nike? When you're like, hey, so this is a story I told Nike. I'm like, pause. How did you even get to tell Nike a story?
Yeah, so again, my first trip to Portland, Oregon was in 2014. And I met an executive there in the IT department who basically helped create the sneakers app, helped run
Okay.
securities for their online portfolio, so to speak.
Wow.
And I got a tour of the campus.
Love it.
And again, my dad wore Nike when he played baseball. I wore Nike
Okay.
growing up. So I was
Yeah.
attached to it, but I was
Yeah.
really never like in the fold with
Okay.
Nike personnel. So when I
Got it.
went, I'm a networker.
Yeah.
I love to meet people. I love to
Mm-hmm.
just build off of
Mm-hmm.
similarities and differences.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to meet a few people through that trip,
Okay.
through the PGA Tour. And then from that, I went back to my dad's MLB database and in my
Love it.
database. And a former partner and one of my, honestly, he's a dear friend. We don't
Okay.
speak that much anymore, but his name is Andre Lustina. He
Okay.
owns Project Blitz.
That's on my list of things. Like Project Blitz is like this, bro. If you're in the streetwear sneaker world, it's like a lure. It's like
Yeah,
mystery. Does this thing even exist? Where does it exist? It's an undisclosed location of like private shoes. Like I think
yeah,
the Space Jam, Michael Jordan Space Jam is in
yeah.
there. Like
The game worn Space Jam signed by Michael. Yeah.
and
Um.
so you I love how you casually drop that, and everybody in the sneaker world who's deep in sneaker world is like, yeah, I know what he's talking about. People who
Oh
have
yeah.
no idea, if you were to
If you
translate that,
know
like
if you
that's
know
a vault.
sneakers at all, you know Andre Lustina,
Mhm.
aka Croatian style, and you know Project Blitz.
Yeah.
I never owned the company. I never
Hmm.
had any Andre is the sole owner of the company. I
Hmm.
came on in 17 to
Hmm.
basically help a few things. I helped with some big financial deals, bringing in some large investments and some equity partners.
Okay. Very
Um,
cool.
and then I helped strategize for him. I
Yeah.
helped develop the brand, no matter if it was bringing in new clients that I know had money to
Hmm.
spend on rarities,
Yeah.
or bridging us out to either find new clients or find new
Mm.
opportunities to get more rare product, and
Hmm.
then just to spread the word of, hey, we are in a storefront. We do
Hmm.
have a brick and mortar, except it's a undisclosed location warehouse in the middle
Yeah.
of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And again, through all these things kind of coming together, baseball,
Yeah.
golf,
Yeah.
fashion, and then blitz,
Hmm.
people from Nike and all other collectors started to pop out from the woodwork. So
Okay.
fast forward,
Yeah.
there's a few guys and gals that either still work at Nike, Jordan brand,
Mm.
or some of them have moved on to bigger and better things.
Okay.
And I'll mention his name. He's still a dear friend. His name's Ben
Mm.
Kirshner.
Okay.
Um, I would say that he was a fundamental and still is probably one of the most pivotal people to get the ball rolling. He
Okay.
didn't have any oversight for the direction and the design and the oversight of the project itself. That
Okay.
was all me and my team.
Okay.
Um, but he opened a door. He basically took my deck that he
Uh-huh.
asked me to prepare, because
Hmm.
he would proofread. Again, he's Ben Kirshner is a very remarkable guy. He's done everything from Kyrie Irving to
Okay.
Kevin Durant to Odell Beckham.
Wow.
Their shoe designs.
Okay.
Everything that you see, Kyrie, Devin Booker, he's
Yeah.
basically Devin Booker's number one guy on as far as the creative side of everything goes.
Oh, wow.
He's doing
Fascinating.
creative direction for Chevy and General Motors right now.
Oh,
He's doing
geez.
creative direction for the Phoenix Suns. Anyways, I don't want
My
to talk.
gosh.
I don't want to make Ben's head too big.
Too big.
No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Ben's a great guy, but he
We'll just
basically
get him on the podcast after you, and we'll just play your episode first, and then we'll go to him next.
he's a great guy to have on. His stories are endless and they're amazing. But yeah,
Yeah.
he saw my story and what I had put
Hmm.
together, and I remember it like it was yesterday. He literally called me and he was like,
Okay.
"Sev," and again, just a quick note.
Yeah.
For the last couple of years prior to this deck, which is like
Yeah.
the golden egg deck.
Yeah. I mean,
I,
there's no
I,
other drink brand that's done a collaboration with a Nike shoe.
Not officially. I think
Yeah.
that they have dabbled. The Heineken Dunk was not an official
It
Heineken.
wasn't that wasn't an official Nike shoe. Yeah.
Exactly.
This is the only drink that at least in my research that I found, it was the only official collaboration with Nike from a drink company, a drink brand to actually, like they have the Tiffany's Nike, they have all the other collaborations with, and then artists and other people who make their
Ben&
Tom
Jerry's,
Sachs and all
ice
the,
cream. But
yeah,
yeah, even so, very few food and bev collabs
yeah,
have ever happened as under the
mm-hmm,
Nike program, especially
yeah,
SB. Skateboarding is its own
yep,
animal, which we can
mm-hmm,
get to because SB is a part of Nike, but
yeah,
SB to Nike is Jordan to Nike. It is a
yeah,
totally separate division.
yeah,
Nike and Jordan brand do not correlate. Oftentimes, they correlate less with each other than they do together. They're
got
basically
it.
like separate entities under the same umbrella.
Same,
So
yeah, I
SB
following you.
SB is a tough cookie to crack. You're dealing with ex skaters
Yeah,
who, I hate to say it, but it's true. A lot of them have chips on their shoulder. They grew up rough, and now they have
yeah,
the opportunity to
mm-hmm,
be the final stamp of approval, and they're going to make
yep,
sure that they really like you and what's
mm-hmm,
going on here. Which again, I appreciate that. A lot of
yeah,
times
yeah, of course,
words are always the deciding factor for a project, not with skateboarding. To
yeah,
be honest with you, they could care less sometimes about the revenue generated. They want to
yeah.
do something that the skateboarders don't look at and go cheesy, corny.
Yes. Yeah,
So
they're looking at their actual like loyalty, their tribe, and go, if we
yes,
put something out to this tribe that actually causes them to look at us and go, you've lost your taste, you've lost
exact,
your way, it's more costly to them than going, hey, what's the return on investment we're gonna get on this? They're gonna go, it's gonna destroy your existing tribe that is your greatest loyalty, your multiple spenders. These people are coming in twice to three times getting something. So if you break them up, this is a bad move.
And if you think about it, skateboarding has been driving Nike's supply chain and revenue generation for the last 10 years.
Oh wow.
SB is the SB Dunk from
Uh-huh.
2007 or 8 with the Tiffany Dunks
Yeah,
first
yeah,
one, all the way till I would say 2023, maybe 2024, because things have definitely
yeah,
taken a dive.
yeah.
Um, but back to what you said is they realized that skate culture was actually leading the world of fashion. You know,
Dude.
10 years ago, before that, prior to 10 years ago, there was not skaters walking at Louis Vuitton fashion shows. Now there's more skaters and extreme athletes walking at LVMH shows than ever before. And that just shows you
Yep.
that the SB
Mm-hmm.
team was smart for what they did because they
Yep.
knew that if they were to go corny and do
Mm-hmm.
something that didn't resonate with their
Yeah.
base, all these skaters were going to dip off and go to Adidas. They were going to go
Yep.
to New Balance. They were going to go to
Mm-hmm.
whatever other brand that kept the skater feeling like he was protected and not
Mm-hmm.
being solicited out for the sake of dollar generation by Nike.
Yep.
So
Bro, let's
to
go.
rewind,
Come on.
Ben saw the story.
Mm-hmm.
And he hit me up. And again, I told you I had pitched a few things in
Yeah.
previous years that he's like, bro, how am I going to get this in front of those people?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't going to work. And so basically, as a friend, he was just shutting me down saying, bro, like, I believe in you and that's a great idea, but that's just not going to fly with Nike. Nope, that's not
Okay.
going to fly here. So it would only go a few steps until I would have to
Okay.
go to the drawing board. Well,
Okay.
believe it or not, when I got the opportunity with Jarritos and I gave basically I didn't need that much time. I think about a week. Because again, like subconsciously, I had this stored in my mind about the
Yeah.
story and why this was important to the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, and he saw it, and I got a phone call, and it was like, bro, I think you actually have something right here that is substantially,
Let's go.
there's a substantial chance that you're gonna get put in front of the right people. And I remember it wasn't a week after that I got a text and said, you're going to get a call from a few people at SB at the time.
Wow.
They're very interested in talking to you.
Let's
And
go.
I remember I literally, I think I probably cried. I think I called my
Yes.
wife and I'm like,
Yes.
shaking, and she's like, are you okay? Are the kids okay? And I'm like, everybody's great. Everybody's fine. Like, I think Nike might have accepted this project as like on their list. And when they accept a
Bro.
project, it's basically you got to go through a bunch of legal, you got to make sure contracts are signed, but it's a really good stage to be at with, hey,
Wow.
we're taking our time at Nike to consider
Mhm.
this in the pipeline schedule.
Yeah.
And then
So
quickly
then,
after that, it began to
yeah.
roll out, and the conversation started to where I think within 30 days post those texts,
Uh,
I was on with Nike signing a non-disclosure to
wow.
basically roll out not only what the beginning of my project was, but just it wasn't as cool as knowing I was going to do the project. But what was
Mhm.
cool is a project with Nike is a minimum of about 18 months. It's 18 to
Okay.
24 months. So the time that you start the project, your
Yeah.
shoe or product won't come out until at least 2 years later.
Okay. It's a long
But it's
runway. Yeah.
also cool because you get to see a schedule. You know, at this time it's 2021,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm getting to see shoes that I never knew were coming out, and I get to see the next 18 months of releases, and I'm like,
Wow.
holy cow, you guys are releasing this much
Yeah.
product
Yeah.
for my shoe, and they're like, we're Nike, this is what we do. So
Yeah.
um
Bro.
before I get too much on a
Yeah.
tangent, that's basically the initial
Mm-hmm.
that was the initial rollout. It was a deck that I had put all my ideas, all my experience, and why it
So
made
did you
sense.
design the shoe then too? Like, was that
Yeah,
you or is that someone?
the
Okay.
shoe was my design. Yeah.
Okay. Dang, bro. Why do you think it resonated so well with the sneaker world, street culture, and the skate community? Like, we'll end with the Jarritos story there. Like, why do you think it resonated? Why do you think that landed?
You know, I think it goes back to skateboarding. It was being picked up worldwide. I had people
Mm,
that are rich schnobs and
mm-hmm.
very aristocratic going, I like Jarritos
Yeah.
and I like skateboarding.
Yeah.
And then you had everybody from the subculture that had already been identifying with Jarritos. And I think
Okay.
it's one of those things. There's several other things throughout history and even current day that we all resonate with.
Right.
Whether it be a sport, an old Tupac or Biggie album for the older
Yeah.
generation. Um, but it's just one of those things that I think it was easy to see the resemblance and the mark it made in a plethora of people's lives. Like I
Yeah.
said, like
It
it doesn't
crossed
matter if
a
you
lot
had
of
it at
demographics.
grandma's house, if you had it at a taco shop, or if
Yeah.
you saw it in Mexico or in Texas or LA when you were
Mm-hmm.
there. I think 99% of the people that I went and talked to about Jarritos had a retention of the brand.
Mm-hmm.
They already had
Yeah.
seen it somewhere, and they're like, I think what it was is it brought a smile to people. When they
That's
see
cool.
the logo, it makes
Mm-hmm.
them remember a good
Yeah.
time, a party, or an experience that they shared with loved ones. And
That's
that's
cool.
where
It
the
connected. It
yeah,
resonated deep there.
it happened. Yeah.
Okay, so let me, with the last little bit of time we have together, let me ask you a couple core questions around brand partnerships and why that matters. Because you have so many things sent to you on a regular basis. Like, you're like, if anybody doesn't follow you on Instagram, like, just you, not, they're not even unboxing videos like an influencer or a content creator unboxing videos. It's literally you like getting your mail. And you're like, I got this custom Lamro Zoko sent to me today. This other like a lot of these other like Louis Vuitton items are sent to you and that are collector level stuff that nobody's getting. And so my two questions are, if you could think in going like rapid fire here, my first one is, why are these brands sending these things to people? Why does it even matter? And what do brands need to be thinking about with brand partnership that they're not thinking about? Like what when you start talking to brands and you start going, this is why you need to think about brand partnership. This is why it's important. If you could think through those questions and give me your thoughts, I'd love to hear what you're thinking.
Yeah. Well, I gotta be honest. A lot of the stuff you see is purchased. Now the
Okay.
brands send me stuff, a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. I get a lot
Okay.
of
That's a good clarifier because now I need to know how much money you make so that I could start buying the things that you buy. No, just joking. I'm
no.
joking.
So I mean, again, this all started back in the day before I even had the opportunity with Blitz, Jarritos, and a few other
Mm-hmm.
brands that.
Yeah.
Again, and it's funny because people are like, wait, what? So
Mm.
a financial advisor takes your money and he
Mm-hmm.
spends it how he has been educated to make you more money,
Mm-hmm.
which reciprocates him making a large percentage of money off of your money.
Yeah.
Um, I was able to prove myself to a group of wealthy people that are kind of in this network together, and it keeps
Okay.
growing. And there's
Mm-hmm.
people that have passed away and families that I don't work
Mm.
for, and there's been new families that have come in, or
Okay.
individuals that have trusted me with luxury goods. They've trusted me
Mm.
with experiences and selection.
Mm.
There's a lot of product out there, and
Mm.
my thing that I joke around with is rich people don't know how to spend their money. They have so much money that they don't know what to buy sometimes. So I think
Yeah.
having somebody like me that I
Yeah.
guess is trustworthy
So
and
you're
that
almost like a luxury goods buyer for some of these people too.
yeah, for sure. And that's what it started with. OPM, man,
Okay.
other people's money. Um, that's where it started. The
Wow.
brands, LVMH, I got invited to all the shows early
Mm-hmm.
on because of how much I was spending at the brands.
Oh, wow.
95% of that was other people's money.
Yeah.
I'm getting a runway bag for this
Mm-hmm.
miss, and this
Mm-hmm.
mister wants a new watch from Rolex.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're all going under my accounts. Of course,
Gotcha.
the brands, they want to know who my clients are, but I'm
Right.
not giving any of that away. Instead,
Mm-hmm.
I'm building up my rapport with each
Yeah.
brand to where, Louis Vuitton's
Wow.
looking at it going, oh my gosh, this guy's 29 years old and he spent
Mm-hmm.
over $1 million in the last 3 years here. What is
Mm-hmm.
going on?
Yeah.
So that's when the free stuff comes. That's when the
Gotcha.
gifting comes, because
Gotcha.
now that I establish my rapport and I start to elevate myself, I get to pick
Mm-hmm.
and choose. Hey, Prada, you guys weren't
Yeah.
really cool to me this year, so I'm going to go
Yeah.
shop at Loewe now. Hey,
Yeah.
Loewe. Hey, Bottega. Hey, Louis.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's almost like it's a game of cat and mouse. They
Yeah.
want
I feel you.
more money. That's what
Mm-hmm.
brands want. They want revenue ROI. And I
Mm-hmm.
think what they've come to find out is there's a balance between gifting and experience
Mm-hmm.
gifting. Like, hey, fly me to Paris, fly me to
Yeah.
Milan for Fashion Week. You pay for it. And in
Mm-hmm.
reciprocity, I'll make sure that this guy that hasn't shopped with you, him and his wife spend $50,000 with you next week. So, like,
Mm.
and these things are kind of like these vague agreements. They're not
Yeah.
contracts, but
Yep.
it's built, again, it's built on rapport. So fast forward.
But these brands know that these key individuals represent a larger market, and so there's a reality of like, hey, if you don't understand what in the same way that I think about like the way ideas spread, if you don't understand the people that spread ideas, Seth Godin talks about this a lot, where the idea virus, like who are the people that are tipping points, catalysts, who in and of themselves are this big, but they have the ability to spread something quicker. And you may not know anything about them, but they can spread something, and they
Nice.
have this spreadability about them. And if brands can go, if I can get one or two of those connected to what we do versus influencers or content creators, like sometimes it's more important to find the people who have that connection to a deeper, broader world that may not have notoriety and fame, but are actually more likely to get you where you're going than going, all right, let's get so-and-so to post about us. It's a very different way to look at it.
Very different. In fact, I stay away from influencer marketing.
Mm-hmm.
That is the death of authenticity to me,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the death of genuine style.
Mm-hmm.
I have, and again, no hate. I have
Yeah.
friends, a vast majority of the high-level friends on Instagram that I have get sent stuff all the time.
Yeah.
But you're picking up product every day, and
Yeah.
hey, shampoo, try it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yes.
deodorant, try it. At what point does the viewer look at you and go, do you
Bro.
really use this stuff? Do you
This
really
is the
interact with
next wave
product?
of influencer marketing that is going to crash.
It's crashing.
Is because that it's going to go, wait, this was the old infomercials. You no longer trust this person
Bro,
because they're associated with it.
Interpreted. That's all it is. And half the time on QVC, people are falling off the ladder that they're selling and breaking their necks. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go back and QVC bloopers. That's what's happening on social media nowadays. Is you have these college athletes or whoever it is selling stuff, and their excuse is, well, they're paying me. But I'm like, bro, you are devaluing your brand, because in 5 years from now, when the next influencer takes your spot and you're trying to look for a real job, these people are going to look at what you've done and said, everything that you've said to your base, your audience, has been disingenuous. It's been it's been so disassociated with who you really are. That's that I pride
that needs
myself.
to get that's the reality, and that's why I think I'm seeing some of the things that I'm seeing with influencer marketing, one of the pivots when an influencer or content creator sees that reality in the future, one of the pivots I see them make is they actually either start their own brand or they start to get equity in brands that they are doing that to pivot away from that inauthenticity. Is going, this is actually my brand now, and I have equity in this brand. And so it feels a little bit more authentic, even though it could be like the smallest percentage of equity. It allows for them to feel a little bit more authentic than simply I'm getting paid for it.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's end with some of my fire questions here around, and then I'm gonna finish. My last question to you is gonna be, what is the craziest item you got behind you that you like talking about, because it's a museum behind you of curated specialty goods that people would like. I want to fly to Greenville. Honestly, my dream right now, one of my dream ideas is fly us to Greenville, to your space, and do a garage tour with you of all these items you got that I'm like, dude, there's only 4 of these in the world. Like this is this is the equivalent of an art piece that's hanging in the Museum of Modern Art. This thing right here, there's only 4, and there won't be any more made, and he has one of them. And so I want to do that video.
You check your schedule. You're more than welcome at the spot, man. We'd love to have you here.
It's an easy flight too to Greenville. It's not far for us from Nashville. Okay. All right. So I want to do a game of a little bit of like iconic or irrelevant, because I know you got some spice to you and I like the energy that you bring to when it's like push comes to shove. All right. So who's building an iconic brand right now, and why do you see that? Who's doing something you're like, they're doing it right, and here's why? Is there anybody that stands out?
You know, I've never been indifferent to Stephen Malbon.
Okay.
The reason that I was a little bit adverse, I would say would be a great word, to what he was doing, is because I was so burnt out from collaborations. Collaborations is what Malbon specializes in. Even though,
and for people who don't know Malbon, we're talking golf.
We're talking Malbon Golf. Stephen Malbon is the founder, the creator, good guy. He is a golfer. He knows the golf world, and he's honestly in the last 10 years. I would say that he's always known golf well, but I see him educating himself and putting himself in places to grow his level of knowledge and wherewithal in that realm, because golf has been hijacked. Everybody's doing golf.
Oh man, I was going to ask you about golf. I know that you got so many hot takes on golf right now.
Oh my God.
Your eyes lit up the moment you said golf.
Yeah, but I would say this. Stephen Malbon is somebody that I think is pushing the initiative. He's doing collaborations that at first, like I said, I was adverse to him. I can't deny that he's doing a great job. He's opening up key stores in key cities that are off. Like, for instance, he just opened up Austin, Texas. A lot of brands would go Miami, New York, LA, maybe Chicago, maybe. But it's like he's going to these places that need what he's providing. And overall, I think that him and his team have been doing a really good job. Inside the luxury good space, I like a few brands, but I mean, I just would be lying to you if I said that there's not a lot of intentionality, I think, in high luxury right now. If there's
a lot of sameness,
I think that I'd love, it would be Bottega Veneta. I think Bottega Veneta has stuck to what they do and who they are. Their price points reflect that. And so I would say Bottega. I would not say the same about a lot of other LVMH brands right now. I think they're corny. I think they're run by people that have no taste. And after a while, when money becomes the only one priority, you lose the style aspect. And this is what I love to tell people. Style is what you make look good. I don't care if you go to Goodwill, what you walk out of the closet.
Vintage hats, we're good.
Style. Fashion is what the world and the mainstream tell you need to buy to be cool. There is a balance. I like fashion. I like buying things that are cool, but it's become so lopsided that I'm really disheartened by the fashion community. And but this is actually an important thing that I want to mention.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of it has to do with, so I'm 38 years old. When I grew up in my early 20s, I saved my money to go to Louis Vuitton and buy a $500 wallet or a
Yeah, I remember my brother bought his first Louis Vuitton wallet, his only probably Louis Vuitton wallet, to be honest with you. So when I say first and only, I remember that process of him saving the money, going to the Louis Vuitton store. And I think it was King of Prussia Mall in New Jersey. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is cool. You
Mm-hmm.
actually there's so many things going on there. You saved, which
Yeah.
you denied immediate gratification, which
Yeah.
is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
To deny yourself immediate pleasure for the
Mm-hmm.
goal of achieving something that does cost time, and time
Yeah.
is money, is a beautiful thing. What's happened is, and again, these younger kids are going to hate me for this, and this is a I'm generalizing, but we
Yeah.
have a lot of broke kids. There's a lot of
Mm.
kids that have basically said, well, I don't have the money, nor do
Mm-hmm.
I have the patience to save the money. So
Right.
I'm going to try to lopside everybody's belief into
Mm.
cheap clothing is cool. I'm all
Mm-hmm.
about vintage. I love
Mm-hmm.
vintage.
Yeah.
But that doesn't take away the prestige in the name of
Yes.
these brands that
Yep.
have been around for hundreds of years. And
Yeah.
now
These legacy
kids will,
brands. Mm-hmm.
yeah, these kids will say, "Oh, I don't like Louis. I don't like
Yeah.
Patek Philippe." Yes, you do. You just can't afford. And now
Yes.
you're telling all your friends that Goodwill or the vintage
Mm-hmm.
clothing is the new Louis Vuitton, when in
Yeah.
reality it's not. You're
Yeah.
just tricking everybody to believe that it's cool when it's
Right.
what you can afford. So
Bro,
again,
you're like, this is why I like talking to you, because the
yeah.
forecasting, the trend setting, the insights. Okay, so what's a brand that's losing its edge? I got two. There's
Losing its edge. Nike is losing its edge. I think that Nike has the ability to spend money. It's like SpaceX, man. A rocket can blow up and cost $100 million.
yeah,
You're just gonna rebuild it and shoot another one up tomorrow.
because Nike just got their CEO who has been with the company for a really really long
Yep.
time, and so I think he was an intern when he
Yeah.
started there, and now he's the CEO of the company. So that's maybe the promise of Nike turning. But you are right; they are losing that edge. A
They've
lot of
lost
these,
it for
especially on
years.
collaborations,
It
I
all
think.
has to do with, no, against. I'm not about the woke and the political stuff, but
Yeah,
when you have a
yeah,
bunch of people that agenda is not
mm,
sports athletic gear, which is
yeah,
that's their pride and joy. It's
mm-hmm,
making quality products for quality athletes.
yep.
Um, I mean, again,
All right.
bro, what is a 300-pound person
Mm-hmm.
doing in the basketball sector?
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. Like, they
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
what product is. They don't know what
Yeah.
a vertical
Mm-hmm.
jump is. They've never
Yeah.
jumped out of their
Yeah.
shoes before. So I'm just
Yeah.
thinking, like, that is where Nike went wrong years ago. I think they're
Mm-hmm.
slowly getting back on track. The good thing is that they
Mm-hmm.
have the money, and I believe
Mm-hmm.
they have the wherewithal to know that what they were doing was not getting them
Not,
good places.
yeah, yeah.
Another one's Louis Vuitton. I hate to say it.
Oh,
I hate to say
oh,
it.
you said it. You said it with even Pharrell doing his stuff and
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I'll always
mm,
love LV.
yeah.
It was the brand that I admired, and
Mm-hmm.
I aspired to be able to wear it when I was young. It
Mm-hmm.
was
Yep.
luxurious. It was well tailored.
I got the bag my wife wants saved in a file. I'm like, here's the Louis bag I'm
You're
saving
like,
up
it's
for my
right
wife.
there in the Google Drive.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
yeah, I think that, Virgil did a really amazing job
Yep.
incorporating street culture. And I'll tell you this, I love Pharrell as an
Mm-hmm.
individual,
Yep.
as a musician,
Yep.
as a futurist, and as a
Mm-hmm.
creative. Hands down, one of the greatest. I mean,
Yeah.
Skateboard P. We know Pharrell is Skateboard P. We
Yeah.
always used to, I was just frontin', baby. Like, we all know that. And he's a cool dude. I'll tell you this. If you have to put your face
Mm-hmm.
on a product,
Yeah.
sell it, which Nigo and him just did.
Yeah.
Their faces are facing each other on a Louis Vuitton product. Why would you ever have to put your face, even if you're the
Yeah.
creative, on
Yeah.
Louis Vuitton, a 200-year-old brand, one of the
Yeah.
world's earliest luxury brands, to sell it? That's
Yep.
obnoxious to me. That,
Yep.
on top of just pumping out fast
This is
fashion.
why I asked that question. This is why I asked that question.
Those jeans that I wore
Yeah.
are tried. Those got sent back really quick because
Yeah.
those were a size 30. So it
And
said.
they look like they were size 38.
Bro, at least. Those were size 38 to 40, and they were the smallest size that Louis made.
The
Meaning,
tailoring was all off.
if you buy a $2,000 pair of jeans, you still have to take them to your local tailor to spend another $100 to get them hemmed up and stuff the way that fits you, and that's obnoxious. I'm sorry.
That's
if
obnoxious.
These brands are going to be selling stuff like that, so yeah.
I love it. I love it. We're going to need to do a part two. We're going to need to do a part two. So tell me one item that you're like, hey, in this space, I love this item. It could be the rare one, not a rare one. Like you're turning around, you're doing like, you got to grab something that you're like, hey, this thing right here, and let me explain it. If you had to grab something.
Grasp something. Let me grasp something.
And so for those of you that are just listening, he's literally walking around. I don't even know the square footage. It's not massive. I can't see the whole room, but there's boxes of brands. I'm seeing Supreme stuff. It's Tom Sachs NASA chair. I'm seeing, I think I see a North Face. Oh man, what is it? Look at this gold. This is gold. It's gold. Oh gosh. What is this?
This
People,
is
you're
not
going to need to watch the episode to see this. Ramoa, okay.
And it's
which is a Ramoa, for those that again are not in this space, is a luxury bag brand that makes all kinds of kind of luggage gear and all kinds of things.
Literally just a briefcase. But
it's a briefcase, but that's not just a briefcase.
No, it's not just a briefcase. It's basically where you would hold the launch codes to your nuclear missiles. So I might have to be sending this off to Israel pretty soon, because there's a lot going on over there.
So do you? How many of those are there of that one?
They gave that to me a few years ago, just through all the stuff that I'm doing with them and all the purchasing.
It's a beautiful like gold.
5 or 10 of those.
5 or 10. I love it. I love it.
There's
that's so good
stuff in here. Here, this is a really cool one. I gotta show you this.
Yeah, show me.
So as a gift, several years ago, Louis Vuitton, when my children were born, sent me, and these are things that like Louis Vuitton doesn't sell, but they make for people sometimes. This is a coloring book. That they made for my boys.
So Louis Vuitton sends you a coloring book for your kids.
And the coolest thing about it is it comes with...
Stop. Oh.
Louis Vuitton colored pencils. So, like little trinkets like this, dollar figure, it might not be worth that money, but it's just the cool thing of like, I love when
it's going to be remembered forever.
Yeah, exactly. I think a part 2 basically be needed because we got a lot of cool stuff in here. I think you're going to need to get your hands on it sometime.
Yeah. We're going to fly out. I'm going to schedule that. We're going to fly out and do it. We're going to do it. Well, bro, thanks for taking the time with me today.
Dude, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I look forward to seeing you in person, man.
Yeah.